Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Dancers Podcast. I'm so happy that you're here with us again today. And today I have a very special guest. Her name is Avigail Shafrir, and she's a professional dancer, choreographer, Gaga teacher, and many, many more. A very creative person, which I really appreciate. Avigail, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are?
Yes, hello everybody. Nice to be here. And wow, I'm a little bit emotional also. I've been waiting also to see you, Maya, for a while, and I miss you. So my name is Avigail Shafrir. I'm a dancer slash choreographer slash artist in this world. Currently freelancing and creating. Yeah,
Okay, so Guli.
yeah,
I have to call you Guli. I can't do
yeah. That's fine. Call me Guli.
it. Okay, so I have a question to begin with. So, when did you first imagine you want to become a professional dancer?
Well, I think first of all, it took me time to really want to become a dancer. I have to say that firstly, when I was young, I wanted to become a painter even. And I was just drawn to ballet a lot because of all my friends when I was very young. They were wearing the tutu and going to the ballet together, and I wanted to feel a little bit a part of the girls because I was a very strange child and very easily can go to my own world, which is a very weird world. So I always wanted to make sure I have my group of friends that kind of grounds me. So I followed them and started ballet. So I had a moment that I was conflicted between two paths, either to go and study arts and drawing and sculpting, or to go for the dance department. And at the time, I was so into the dance and the ballet, so I was like, okay, this is the natural way I have to go, and I will maintain the drawing more as a hobby. And it just went from there and rolled from there. I went into the dance department in Ironi Aleph High School. And when you get there, it's super, super fast the way you have to really enter this world and put all your heart and soul into it. And it was amazing. It was really nice to have something that you're super duper passionate about without even like choosing it. It was almost like it was choosing me in a way, but you just go with it. This is, I feel like, how I went from being more of an artist, a drawer, into dancer. And when you're in high school, there is this certain pressure for me. I always felt the pressure of excellence, being excellent in what I do. If it was also in my studies. I was a nerd. I was a nerd. And also I went into my dancing, obviously, and then you're just chasing excellence. And excellence is to be a professional, like the highest professional that you can be. And yeah, you just chase this excellence for
You know,
me.
I want to ask you because I know you're coming from a family of artists,
Yeah.
and I wonder if this excellence is something that came to you on your own, or it came also from your home.
Mm. First of all, I'm an only child. Um, and when you are an only child, the pressure is on and all eyes on you. And I wanted to make my parents proud. Um, but I guess because they're coming from an artistic world and fields, and I think that they never really ask for me to be perfect, but because they were so amazing in what they do, I always wanted to feel like I'm a match for them, or I'm worthy of their approval as such great artists. Um,
Wow, that's such a heavy weight to carry as a child that you have to like match up to your parents because they're so successful and artistic and people appreciate them. Then you also have to be this way.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a lot of pressure, and honestly, I think that was one of the main reasons that I chose dance in a way because it was not a thing that my parents did. Like my parents are coming from the theater world, and there were a lot of times that people told me, "Ah, you're like your father. He's an actor, and you have the facial expressions, and you can do that, and you can." I was like, no, I want to do the dance. I'm not gonna do what my parents is doing because I was also a little bit. I didn't want people to try and compare me to my parents. Oh, she's less of an actor as her father, but I wanted to be a dancer, so I'm still an artist, but a little bit different, just a tiny bit different. Even though my dad wasn't a dancer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was a ballet dancer for a
What?
while. Yeah.
Oh my God. Wait, but did you ever think about being an actress?
I feel like it came a bit later. Um, I feel like I do still have that dream in a way. I still don't fully let it out of me, but I feel like I am currently drawn more and more to that. I don't know if necessarily acting, but definitely to theater, cinema, maybe even more being in the director side, the dramaturgic side. But yeah, working with actors is great. And I feel like I bring my acting into dance, and I don't need it to be a standalone profession for me yet. Maybe later. I don't know. I'm not canceling anything or any idea, whatever comes.
Beautiful. I also think like knowing you, watching your work, you're always very theatrical. Like it's something that is so natural to you. So as I see you evolving throughout your career and the things you're working on and creating, I feel like you are very drawn to that side of you now as an adult, like in this stage of your life.
I feel like I allow it to come out. Um, yeah, I feel like I was always very theatrical, and very expressive, a lot in my face and my body.
And how did it, like the dance world react to that, you know? Because some places
Mm,
they don't accept it so much.
true. Um, so I feel like right now it's reacting in a good way for me, because I found a way to also control it more and my facial expressions and to maybe balance it more. But I can say that before I had times that I had like rehearsal directors saying, we see a lot of stories there. Maybe like don't give it all in because sometimes dance needs to be very abstract, and it's more about physicality and can be about texture, about clean lines and stuff like that, and not so much about the story or the emotional roller coaster that I am going through. And for me, it's really easy to share it with the audience. I really like to share it with the audience as I dance. But sometimes it's not really what the choreographer or rehearsal director is looking for. And I came to understand that it's fine and it is a part of me and it is a strength that I have and also something that I need to learn how to measure. Because as a dancer, you want to be like a plain canvas for a choreographer. You want to be somebody who is very easily shaped and into the choreographer's ideas or tastes even. So it was always very important for me to learn and to evolve as a performer to be an artist that can really shape shift. And I feel like with the I have this skill of acting, of being very expressive, but also now I learn how to put it to sleep when it's needed. And but it was a journey. For example, when I was in Bacheva, in Ensemble Bacheva, I always felt like I have a lot to give and I'm very strong physically, but there is something that is not quite matching what they're asking or what is their standard of a performer. No. Um, so for me, it was very easy to understand, which is actually a really funny thing, I have to say. I put an anecdote because when I was in Bacheva, I always felt like I'm not a Bacheva dancer, like not fit enough to be a Bacheva dancer. Like, I don't know, maybe I don't have the right physicality, don't have the looks. I did get a lot of respect there and a lot of space, and I felt very appreciated there. And I have nothing bad to say, but I would get sometimes like suggestions from rehearsal directors saying, "Can you do it more Batsheva?" And I
Really?
would, yeah, that would be a that would be a thing.
I'm dead.
That would be, or like, "Can you do it more Gaga?"
Ah,
Yeah, and that would be
wow.
like in error in my brain because this is all I'm doing. All I'm doing is Batsheva. All I'm doing is Gaga, and still somehow I'm really it's really obvious that I am different. And when you're in a company, it's not always a good thing to stand out. Um,
Yeah, I also think that it's worth talking about this, that not every dancer is company material, and that's fine. But you have to understand that, and maybe you're a specific kind of company's material, and another
yeah,
company that maybe is your dream company, maybe you don't fit there.
but
And
yeah, for example, and then I would go for auditions for other companies abroad, let's say in Europe, and they would say, like, literally, they would come to me after audition and would tell me, listen, we feel like you're too Batsheva. And I'll be like,
lol.
wait a minute, because they're saying I'm not Batsheva. So
Yeah. But
what?
I also wanna say that, like, everything you just shared, I feel like you found your, we can call it a niche. I don't know if that's the right word because it narrows it a lot, but it took you some time to find where you belong, where you fit, where you can show what you choose to show. Because you were talking about shape shifting, but I think your shape shifting shaped itself out of understanding that maybe I don't have to all the time show everything, and I can choose what I want to share, how I want to move. And this is completely my choice. And then you also choose the places that you want to work in, the environments, the people. And from seeing you where you are right now in your career, I can see that you're working with people it seems like a good match.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I'm feeling very blessed about it. Um, I feel like as a freelancer, I really found um my place in the world in a way, even though as a freelancer, it's really easy to get lost also. And I feel like also getting lost is how I find myself. Um,
100%.
yeah,
Get lost, people.
get lost, get lost. Um, but yeah, also just enjoying choosing the people you work with, seeing that there is a really good match there and that the atmosphere is nice, and even like just being a guest artist in a company, for example, like now I was guesting in Shachar Binyamini's company, and you still get the feeling of a company, but you still feel the freedom of being yourself. Um, yeah, I feel like it's a nice place to be in, and a good base for you to keep exploring yourself, and without always reaching like the top of the mountain. There's always another top to go and another top to go, because you're never fully like burning out, let's say. It's really easy to feel the burnout when you're in a company, for example.
Definitely. I want
And
to take us a little bit back before we continue into the current juice. And I
yeah.
want to ask you, so when you like made up your mind that you want to be a professional dancer, so how did you imagine that your life would look like? Like as a student, as a younger version of you?
Um, wow. First of all, I always wanted to be in a kibbutz dance company.
Really?
Yeah, I have. That was
Well,
my dream, original dream. And I imagine myself traveling all around the globe, performing in crazy theaters with like three balconies, at least, like the minimum. That was the minimum. But
happen.
yeah, happened. Not all the time, but it happens. Uh, and just working with like crazy choreographers, and yeah, being like super cool dancer, just being a super cool dancer.
And has reality been different from what you expected in like some ways?
In some ways, um, I am super cool, but
You are.
um, but I wasn't in kibbutz. I was in the Sadna in the kibbutz. That was nice, but I wasn't in the company of
In
kibbutz.
the training program.
I was in the training program.
Yeah.
Um, I wasn't in kibbutz, and thank God I wasn't there. I don't think it was a place for me at all. I did get to Batsheva, which was also another, it was my second dream. And it ended up being a wonderful experience. And I was touring, and I was seeing the world, and I was performing in big theaters with three balconies. And then I left Batsheva and kept on performing in theaters with three balconies. And that was still great to know that you can still do that if you really love what you do and you really put your heart and soul into it. And then you get to these places, even if you have to create these opportunities yourself. I feel like as artists, it's really easy for us to kind of hope that someone will notice us and take us to the dream, like your prince on the white horse, but as a job. Um, and once you get a few no's and you start to realize that if you really want to do this, there are so many people who want to do this. So many people, so many opportunities, so many no's, so many yeses. And you just have to decide that you love this. This is what you love. And you do the work. You do the work. And when it doesn't fulfill you and you still have to do the work and it becomes a work, then maybe it's time to do other things also. It's not a shame to do other things. It's a blessing. It's amazing. And I have to say that ever since I became a freelancer, I started really exploring doing a few things parallel to each other and paralleling other things and other hobbies, let's say, to dance. And that really helped me to be happy in my life.
What kind of things?
So first of all, I started tattooing. So I learned to tattoo because I always, as I was saying, I was painting and I was thinking, I should do something with it, and still connected to the body and to the flesh. And I felt like that was a perfect match for me, and started doing that, and it was a whole other world to go through and to dive into it. It was crazy, amazing, and very, very cool. So I was like, okay, cool. We have the cool.
I think maybe we will call the episode Cool.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's a cool name. But also just I'm taking a lot of jobs. Let's say I'm editing videos, I am painting, I am helping people with producing music. I am what else? I work with actors now and in theaters, and I just do nothing sometimes.
This is so important.
Yeah, it is. It is. I feel like, especially if, as a freelancers and as people who kind of all the time need to build their own careers and their kind of business, because your body, you are your business in a way. It's really easy to all the time feel like you have to do this application, do this, no, 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 until like you don't sleep, you don't eat, you don't live a life. And for me, it was always very clear that I need to take my time and I need to give time for myself, for hanging out with my partner, with my dog, with my friends, and just making sure that I'm taking care of me and I'm a good friend to myself and I'm a good employer to myself.
That's a thing that I think all freelance dancer have to understand that you are your own employer. You build your
Mhm.
career, and as much as you are responsible for getting the job opportunities, you're also responsible for your own health and the benefit of getting good rest, good quality time with like other things that are not dance.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I want to ask you something because, like, I have a memory. I don't know if you remember that, probably no, but I remember that in my first year in Batsheva, something like really bad happened. We got like we had a talk about our contracts, and at first they told me like I cannot get a contract, da 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 da. And I remember sitting outside, super frustrated, talking to you, and you told me, you know, everyone has their own path. And I got so upset. Like I wanted to kill you. I was like, what the fuck? She cannot say that. She's a privilege and blah, 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 blah. But today I really understand that. And I feel like it made me appreciate you more, understanding that we all go through heartbreaks. And I know you also went through some heartbreaks during your career. And like if you want to share, like how do you deal with these kind of things? How do you like agree that this is my path and I will keep going until like something happens and something will happen?
Something always does. Always something happens, and it always a surprise because whenever you like, I don't know, I can tell from myself that whenever I plan something, almost every time something different happened. Almost every time. Almost to a point that I was like, okay, I'm not gonna plan anything because it's not gonna happen. And I just give up. I had those moments, but always the thing that happened, like after a while, I realized it was the perfect thing for me. Like it was so important. Like I would want this beautiful guy to be my boyfriend, but it turns out we are horrible for each other, even though I was so sure. It can be also in that field, but also in your career. Sometimes what you want is not what's best for you, and we will not know it. Um, and it's very easy to let it bring us down and almost to destroy us. Like you can feel like you are destroyed when something doesn't work the way you planned, when you feel like a failure, like not a good answer, like unappreciated. You start to really unappreciate also yourself, and it's like sometimes when someone else doesn't appreciate you, immediately you self-destruct. Um, because this profession is about perfectionism.
But I disagree because I feel like the profession is not about perfectionism, but the dance industry made us learn that we have to try to be perfect. But in the end of the day, and this is what I keep saying in every single episode of this podcast, is that dancers are artists, and art is trying things. Art is daring to play and to fail and to make a fool
Yeah.
out of yourself. It's not about being perfect.
And I have to say that once I realized that I am who I am, and my scars are amazing, and they have a lot of place in this world, my scars. And that
Right.
was
Giving
like,
me chills.
it's it makes you go for it because you know that you are just doing what you do in your art. And the scariest thing is not making it wrong or doing it in a way that is not perfect. The scary thing is not doing it at all because you're scared. Um, so I was trying to imagine myself as an 80-year-old, um, sitting in my little chair and thinking back, like if I would be an 80-year-old woman, looking back, what would I see? Would I see a girl who was scared and not appreciating of her young, beautiful body and all the opportunities she had because she's too caught up in her head to not see what's in front of her? Or be this grandmother who would be super fulfilled because I was young and I lived and I danced and I loved my body no matter what it was. I want to be that grandma. I just want to be that grandma.
This is so amazing. And I feel like sometimes we are so caught up in the present, but not in a way of being in presence in our
Yeah,
body, but in
yeah,
a way that we're just in our head and we let our thoughts and the stories that we tell ourselves shape the reality. And when we actually, I love this exercise because when you actually pull yourself out of the moment and go to the future and imagine what the future you would think of the current you, then you can actually make decisions that are clearer to your like far away goal. And
Yeah.
wow, this is
And it's
amazing.
like to go really far, because if you go a little bit far, then you're like, I want it to be like you. It's really easy to again get into that cycle of like trying to get into a certain goal, a near goal, instead of enjoying the journey. And when you think about like when you have like old people, when they're it's just about remembering. And I just want to I want these memories to be really beautiful and happy ones. And I feel like these beautiful memories are also beautiful because they are not perfect. Um, I can say with a lot of confidence right now that all the hard moments I ever had are amazing. And they really make you appreciate each time what you have. And it's good to get the slaps from the world. It's not fun, and I'm not saying it should be fun. And if for me, it always helped to feel it, to feel the sadness, to let it, to really physically feel my skin burning if I feel the burn, and let it out, and just know at this moment that this is the time that I'm climbing the stairs. Because when you have to take the leg to climb the stairs, this is a hard moment, but you are going up, you're going somewhere other than just staying where you are when it's not painful. So each time I took this step and I get into the new floor, it's always magical because I really feel the appreciation. I really feel that everything is okay, and I am drowning. I might be drowning right now in my sorrow, but I'm cleansing also. Like it's a, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think also it's very important to say that I'm also down for feeling your feelings, sit with your feelings. I'm this kind of girl, but
Yeah.
I think that if you choose to go for it and to go through the feeling, even when it's really hard and it's uncomfortable, you have to go through it with either a time limitation or
Yeah.
with a clear knowing that I'm going through it in order to get better. Don't
Yeah.
let yourself sink inside this mud, you know?
Yeah. I
Like,
would always, somehow for me, it was always like a 24-hour thing that I would be like, like,
wow.
will
I
it
love
be?
this because I was listening to, I don't remember who was that, but they gave this trick on one podcast that I listened to, and I tried it, and this was amazing. You should try it. Whenever something bad happens, something that you're not pleased with, you just open the timer on the phone, time it for 24 hours. And for these 24 hours, you have all the time that you want to complain, to be sad, to be angry, to be frustrated about the situation. But once the 24 hours pass, you stop, new page. And the interesting thing is, whenever I did that, I noticed that after like maybe an hour, 2 hours, I wasn't feeling like I want to be like inside this mud anymore. And then I was like, okay, but I have 24 hours. And after the 24 hours, I cannot do that anymore. So maybe I should take out a little more. But you see that once you make a decision, it's very easy to like give it a space, then keep going. So I really recommend you try it.
Yeah. Yeah. I will. It sounds amazing because you really allow yourself. You have like, it's again our place of control. When we have a certain time frame, when we know we have this, then it's like a, wow, I had this experience with a choreographer that she's amazing. And in her choreography, she said that the choreography is like a prison in a way, and you have to be inside this prison in order to feel free. And it's like you have all these rules, but the rules make you feel liberated inside them. And I really feel it's the same with like framing your sorrow. Because inside this frame, like when it's framed, you're so, it's so clear, it's so in front of you, other than all over you. Then you don't know where to be and how to be, and you feel FOMO about not being somewhere because you're sad. But no, I have these 24 hours. No, I'm not feel any FOMO. It's fine. I'm here with myself. I have this time.
Definitely. Definitely. Like putting a frame is just, it makes our lives easier. Like when everything is, I think it throws me into back into freelance, because when everything is unclear and you're uncertain about what's going to happen and you don't have a clear frame, you have to find ways to deal with it. So this is actually another thing that I wanted to talk to you about. So how do you deal with the uncertainty that comes with not always knowing what's next?
This part is never super easy. Not knowing is hard. But you learn slowly how not to let it affect your well-being. And it's really nice to know that in the times when you don't have anything professionally to do, that you always have something else. You always, actually, at times when you're off is the time that are most practical somehow. Like I get all the shit done in those times. And it's just nice to always have like a routine, your own routine, that it does not connect to your professional routine. Your habits of in the morning, your
Can you give an example of what is your routine?
what is my routine? So first of all, I like my mornings to be very slow and quiet. And it's time for me with my partner and my dog, and we go for long walks almost every day to the beach with the dog. And that's amazing. That's by itself, I'm feeling good that day after, no matter what will come. Um, and I take classes and I write and I plan a little bit. I try to sit on my computer and organize all my schedule, even if it's for the far future. Book flights, book a vacation because you deserve it. Yeah, just like that. But I have to say that also I work out in the gym when I'm not dancing, and that is really fun. I really started getting into it from a fun point of view. Like for example, now I'm training with my best friend and another best two of my best friends. We train together twice a week. One of my friends are coaching us, and she's really tough. And after each time we go to the gym, immediately after, three of us going to the bar, eating fries and drinking jasmines. This is this is our weekly thing that you always have this. I feel like it's quite adult thing that you have to, in order to meet people, you need to do something together. Um,
But it's such a nice way to spend the time together.
Yeah, because we're working so hard in the gym, always thinking after we have the fries and the cocktails. So
Um,
that's nice also.
what do you think about gym for dancers?
I feel like it's not necessarily for everybody. Uh, I can say that when I was in a company, I would never be able to be in the gym, I think, because I would be it would be too much for my body. But as a freelancer, because your schedule is all the time a little bit shifting and not every month is like super hard physically, and sometimes you work half days, and so gym works out really well in my schedule, and I enjoy heavy lifting and running. All of a sudden I never felt like I could be a runner, but right now I'm running and it's nice, and um I feel like I get a really strong, which is a really nice feeling. I never felt like I'm a strong, like physically strong. And now I really feel strong. So it feels nice. Like I would see sometimes videos of people training in order to this is a bit paranoid, me being paranoid, but people training in order to, if they have to like hold on to a cliff when they're almost dying, they will be able to like save themselves. So I was like, oh, I want to be able to save myself from that situation. I don't know. Or like if it's tsunami comes, what do I do? Like I'm going through that. But it's mostly just about challenging myself and always proving to myself that I can break limits and just feel proud about myself.
Yeah, I think it's something that for freelance dancers, it's worth giving a try.
Yeah, if you're
Definitely.
down for it, give it a try. If you're not, it's not for you, and it can also be very boring being in the gym. So if it's not for you, it's not for you, and you should not feel bad about it. Each one, you do your thing. Sometimes I don't feel like going to the gym and I just don't go. It's really good to also know when you're not feeling it and then not forcing.
Oh my God, so important, and not only regarding the gym,
Yeah,
people.
yeah, regarding everything, literally everything.
Yeah, that it actually throws me to, I want to talk a little bit about your transition from company life into freelance career.
Yeah,
How this this shaped itself.
it was very hard in the beginning. I felt lost. I felt like, who am I without this frame? I really felt like actually I was thriving in this frame. When everything is known to me, when the schedule is made up. I didn't have even have a calendar like when I went into my freelance. All of a sudden I need to have a calendar. Like, how do I deal with it? I don't know. I'm so used to somebody sending me the schedule. So even those little things. But and so at the beginning it was quite hard, and I also didn't quite enjoy what I was doing as a freelancer yet. I felt like people didn't know me. People knew me as one thing, and most of them didn't even know that I left the company. Um, it was hard. Once you're in a company for quite a while, then they kind of labeled. I felt like you were kind of labeled.
Yeah, it's as if you're in a relationship, you're not single.
Yeah, but I am single. I
Back in
swear.
the market.
Yeah. Um, specifically me, when I was leaving the company, I had a lot of changes in my life. Everything was changing. Yes, I was moving from the company into freelance, but also my personal life shifted. I got into a new relationship after like a really bad one. Everything was like changing all of a sudden. Like in one day, I have different life. And I felt like it wasn't mine in a way. Like I was not living my life. I was being punished even in some ways. Like this is the opposite of everything I've been working towards too. Like I didn't know what to do. And I feel like time as it progresses, you kind of realize gently, very gently and very slowly that actually you're fine. Actually, you're more than fine. And you just need to let go of this idea that things will come to you and actually realize that you have the power to take things. You have the power. I didn't think I have the power to just talk to somebody and tell him, "Hi, I want to work with you." And that's fine to say it. That's legit thing to say, and actually things can come out from it. I didn't think that is a thing. I knew of people doing it, and I was like, "Ugh, I would never be that girl." But then you are that person, and it's different because I would never, for example, be like, I think I'm the best fit for you. Like I'm perfect for you. We have to work together. I wasn't like that. Not too pushy, but yes, to express to choreographers that you're interested in them, in their work, and that you appreciate them, and that you put your heart on the table, and if they choose to take it, they choose to take it. And also it's always a negotiation, and there's always room for more conversation to come from it, and it's not just ending in that one conversation. So when I started freelancing, I didn't enjoy it, but after, like, let's say 3 months, maybe even 4, I started taking things into my own hands and saying, okay, this is my situation right now. I'm not in the company anymore. I'm a freelancer, and I'm gonna make it work for me. And I'm gonna not be down. I'm gonna do other things. I'm gonna learn how to tattoo because I have the time now, and I never had the time. So maybe it's a good thing. Maybe I can use it, and instead of crying. And
I'm so happy that you bring this up because I think for dancers that are going out of their safe nest of the company and they're overwhelmed, it's important to have your pity party. Take the moment, grieve it, but understand that your life is, you're the one navigating your life. And like it amazes me that it happened to you so quickly after 3 or 4 months. That's like super fast because for me it took some more time. But understanding that there's no shame in reaching out to people because art is something that you can do as a cooperation. And it's actually pretty amazing. And when there's someone that you're interested in working with and they don't know you, how will they ever get to know you if you don't just show up, reach out and say, "Hello, I love your things. I'm interested." Like, reach out to people.
yeah.
Like, it's so
Yeah.
important that um, I don't want to use the word sell, but like that you present yourself, the way you show yourself to the world, the way you show up. Show up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's really, I never felt like I'm selling myself because it didn't come from that place. It genuinely came from, because I was not approaching everybody. I was approaching specific people that I genuinely liked what they're doing. And I was doing that from appreciating them rather than appreciating just myself and like my goals and putting my goals. Um, and sometimes it didn't work out. Yeah, I had choreographers that I really genuinely love their work, and I was like, listen, I want to work with you. You are great. You are fantastic in what you do. I follow your work, and it's always a surprise. It's always a pleasure to see your work. I want to work with you. And they would say like, yeah, right now I have nothing. This is always like, I have nothing right now, but it's nice to know that you're interested. Thank you. It's nice. Your words are kind, blah 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 blah, blah.
Yeah,
And then
sounds
nothing comes
familiar.
out of it. And that's okay because it's not meant for you, probably. Maybe you're not the right fit for this choreographer, or this choreographer is not the right fit for you. Can happen. Can
Definitely. It
happen.
throws me back to dating, it's the same. Some people
Yeah.
you will never know why they were not into you, and that's fine, even though you really wanted, but they were not into you. You just have to accept it and keep going until the right person, the right opportunity shows up.
Yeah, like I think you said it in one of your other podcasts about for auditions, for example. They're auditioning you, but you're also auditioning them.
100%.
You're feeling the vibe of the place. For example, I had an audition in a great company. I was dreaming about going there to audition. I got the okay that I will go to the audition. Already from the first day there, even though I continued and stuff, already from the first day, I saw that the vibe of this place is really far away from me. Like I would go like like the choreographer or the artistic director try to make a joke that is very unfunny. For me, if you're not funny, I don't want to work with you. Like I don't know, like no, I'm exaggerating. Obviously, I'm
No, but
exaggerating.
you're right. But understanding your value and setting your standards, it's so important, and not just going there like I'm sorry, but a prostitute and just like agreeing to get everyone, you know?
Yeah.
You're
And it's
not
really
a grocery store.
yeah, it's really important to really know also when something is not right for you, because you don't want to be somewhere you're not happy, especially as a freelancer. I mean, when you're in a company, you're in a company, you work with one choreographer, two choreographers, whoever they bring, and you have to kind of do it because it's your job, you're having a contract, and that's fine. I would also do that if I was in a company and this was what I wanted. But as a freelancer, because you have the right to choose, and this is what you do, then sometimes I would start a project with someone who seemed interesting at first, and I'm giving it a try. And I'm seeing as we do one, two, three rehearsals together, I see that I don't like the vibe. I'm not connected to the language that he's offering, and it's just getting harder and harder for me to be professional in rehearsals. Because for me, as we were saying, we allow ourselves to feel, we're feeling a lot, and sometimes you don't want to let it out in rehearsal because you want to maintain professional, you want to keep the vibe good in your rehearsal. So I would be in a place that I didn't feel like I would feel even cringy sometimes, like I'm not connected to it. Why am I doing it? I'm doing it from, and then I think I do it for the money. I do it for what? And then it's really important to come to this person and say, thank you for this opportunity. I don't feel the fit, and we gave it a shot, but it doesn't work. And I appreciate you, and you, like as a person and as an artist, to say that I am not the right fit for you.
So important. My God. Like, if you are starting a project with someone and you're not connecting with the vibe, with the person, with the cast, whatever, it's so important that you will admit it and do something about it the earlier possible. Don't stretch it because everyone feels it, and then you just get to a burnout. It becomes like this bad atmosphere in the studio when you don't
It does.
stop it at the right time.
Exactly, because I would tell you, it's really easy to feel like a quitter when you quit things. And it's also good not to quit when you can. But as you grow older, and getting more professional, let's say, you know that quitting is necessary when it's necessary. And there's nothing to be ashamed about. There's nothing to feel like you're lose whatever. I don't want to say those words, but you know what I mean. Because I can tell you, for example, my first company that I was in before Bacheva, I was an apprentice there, and it was right after I finished the college for dance, and it was my first company, and I was I was young, and I wanted to be still perfect in a way, and I wanted to work hard. I wanted to work. I wanted to start to work, and I was in this company that was horrible for me. Really, the most horrible fit. Terrible, like a terrible year. I was an apprentice, and the company, the artistic director, the rehearsal director, they treated me like crap. I'm not exaggerating. They would humiliate me in front of all the cast. They would give me a chat once a month about my weight and saying that I have to get skinnier, I have to be blah blah blah. And also, even more than that, they were not paying me. Like they were paying me way below the minimum. I was feeling like I'm not even a person anymore when I was there, let alone dancer. I was not a dancer. I would come to the studio, and I was the only apprentice in this company. It was a small company in Tel Aviv. And the rehearsal director will mark a square on the floor at the corner of the studio that I had to be there. I couldn't ask questions because I was interrupting. I couldn't ask questions to the company members because I was interrupting them. Um,
I'm
I felt,
shocked.
I felt like, okay, this is the professional world. Like, this is my first meeting with the professional world. It was horrible. And I was getting towards the end of the year, and I was sure I'm not dancing after that. I'm quitting dance. I'm quitting dance because I cannot have this anymore. But I was like, I have this goal. I have to finish the year, no matter what. I have to finish a full year because I was like, I'm not a quitter. I'm not a quitter. I have to do this full year. I have to say, I ended up not doing the full year if we skip forward. But because I was like, I was sure I'm not in the right place, but still I was like, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. I will lose every piece of myself. And I did. I lost a lot of myself. I started binge eating because I was like, as they were telling me eat less, I was like, I'm gonna eat more because this is the only thing I could rebel. Like this is the only thing I had. Because when I was there, when I was in the studio, I was theirs. But in home, when I'm in charge, I would eat so much. Like I would finish the day crying, eating ice cream every day, just ice cream. And in the end, like towards the end of this year, I was like, okay, I'm just have to finish this year, and then it's done. Then I'm done with dancing because if this is the way it is, it's not for me. And I remember everybody was doing auditions, and I was like, I'm not even gonna do auditions. Maybe just one. I just do Batsheva because it's a fun audition. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do this one. I'm not gonna try. I'm not gonna send anything else. Just that one. I know the people there. I had at the time my ex, my boyfriend at the time now is my ex. He was dancing in the main company. I was like, okay, I will try. And then I got it. It's like it was when I already gave up. It was this is why I feel like it's kind of choosing me all the time. Because I was ready to give up. I was ready to close that chapter, close that book, do anything else. Um, And then it happened. And then I still continue dancing just because of that. And I was like, fuck you all.
Wow, Guli, this is so inspiring, and I'm sure that everyone that heard this story right now, they can find themselves in a way inside of it. And this is just so important. And I think it's a reminder for all of us that even the people that we see as the most successful, they've been through some shit. Sometimes we go through some shit. But on top of that, I want to add that if you go through this kind of crazy thing that someone marks like your corner in the studio that you dance only inside of, oh my God, like even if this is your first job, this is the beginning of your career, it's not supposed to be this way, and you have to like get clear on your boundaries, on what you are willing to accept on your way. Sometimes you have to eat a little bit of crap on the way, what you can do, but this kind of things, this is like dehumanizing you. And this is crazy.
Like that. There are so, and listen, this is just the tip of the iceberg. 'Cause I have so many stories from my 1 year there that
Mhm.
I didn't even finish it.
But maybe we should have another podcast episode only talking about those stories.
Yeah.
I'm sure people would love to hear that. My
Yeah.
God. Okay,
Also,
I do want us to go in a fresh direction now.
yeah.
And I know you've been creating your
Yeah.
own work. So would you like to share a bit about your journey of creating and your
Yeah. I
shift
would
to this
love.
new world?
Yes, I would love to. I worked right now on a solo piece for my old director, let's say company director,
Company manager, yeah.
company manager. He was my manager, our manager in Ensemble Bacheva. His name is Zidan Porges, and he's a crazy, amazing performer and actor and clown and dancer and everything. And I had to frame him. I had to take all of this talent and put it on stage, and it was really a dream to work with him, where we clicked from the first moment, and we have a very similar sense of humor, imagination, everything. This creation flew by really smoothly. And I got to work also with my father. So that was also a dream come true, to actually bring the theater side in me and in my family and let it shine in its full glory. And it was just a really good experience to bring my family into this process. And my father had a lot of room in this process. He was my dramaturg, let's say, and artistic. He just helped me with everything, and it was basically like building with him a script for a dance piece, and that was a new thing for me because I'm so used to start from like something a bit more abstract, but I had a clear story that I wanted to share, and he just helped me make it happen and make it be a clear thing, a clear journey that I can allow the audience to really enter my world in a smooth way. And it was really like I just took all my craziness basically and said, and ask the right people, you think we can make it happen? Like it can become a thing that is making sense, all of this craziness? And then I was like, yes, we can make it happen. And I started creating all these ideas and all these. Actually, I used some AI images. Like I just type on AI, um, can you make a stage that looks like this and change like this and change like this? And then the ChatGPT made like some images, and I just recreated those images and made it happen, made this craziness happen. Um,
Super cool. Wow.
Even if it means like I want to have a robot on stage. So I made a robot.
Really? Hey, can you tell us a little bit about like what's happening there, what the piece is about?
So yeah, the piece is about a performer that is um, dealing with how deep he's going inside his imagination throughout a show. So for example, let's say if he starts the show feeling very self-conscious and very aware of himself, of the audience, of what he needs to produce, how his desire to be loved by the audience and appreciated by the audience, being clapped by the audience. Um, then slowly as the piece progresses, he kind of loses this connection with the reality and with the audience and start to dive in his own world of creativity. Of we talked about a lot in the process. We talked about the place called the Zone, and I took inspiration from the movie Soul. It's a Pixar movie that in this movie that there is a moment that an artist is so into his craft and he just kind of detaches himself from reality and is kind of in between reality and imaginary, almost between life and death, that you're just in your world of in your tune, in your dance, in your whatever you are. So I wanted to create this zone on stage, how to make a performer go from outside into his deepest craziness, his deepest desires, he and to almost like become a child. So this is kind of the journey that he goes through as the show progresses, and you can really see that in the beginning he takes pills for anxiety. Like it's a part of it. Like we present this man that we also present his wife calling him. It's like the whole of his reality kind of shuts down, and until he flies, like literally flies.
It really flies in the air.
You have to go and see.
Oh my God. Wow, that's so cool. And it's super interesting because it's like something that we all experience as performers. So I feel like it takes me into your experience. I want to ask you, what have you discovered about yourself through this creation?
Wow, so much. Let's start with my my connection to my childhood, to the child in me. I was saying before, I was a very weird child. I really had a very twisted, but good twisted view of the world. I would talk to trees. I would like really, I was, if you would see me, like you would think this girl is not with us. I would think I'm a princess or a fairy. And I would go with it and I would really believe it. I would believe in everything. I believe in the trees. I believe in the rain, like whatever. And I feel like today, in the world that we live in, and as I grow older and older, I'm almost 30 now. I never let go of this child. And I feel like as many times that as I fall on my face, on my ass, and I see the world coming at me, like the pain, the suffering, the whatever, the the memory of this child is so strong still. Like it's really my defense mechanism, let's say. And for me, it was very, very necessary to let it out and to let this little girl have a place. She wants little ducks to go around. She wants the robots. She wants to be out of this world and into her own craft and to be in her zone. And I let her. Basically, that. I just wanted to let this girl be. And I wanted the audience to feel like they can find their own child inside them throughout, like through watching it. Because you can see this older guy who is been through a lot in his career. Maybe he's been out for a while from his career, and now has to come back to performing, all the pressure that goes with it, and to see him becoming a child. I feel like I wanted people to feel like they can too. Like it's actually a beautiful thing, and it's important to stay naive even though we're clear. Like, I don't know, something about being naive is a big part of me, even though I'm really not naive, but there is a very strong sense or a desire to be naive or to go back. Yeah.
Beautiful. I think also it's about allowing yourself to dream
Yeah.
without thinking about consequences or how things are going to happen in reality. But we talked a lot about um, going through the pain inside the shift to your next level. You said it so beautifully when you talked about climbing up the stairs and how you put effort into the climbing. And I also like to look at it as stretching into a bigger size of you. And
Yeah.
part of it is allowing yourself to dream, because if you don't dream, you don't know there's a bigger size. And yeah, it's really beautiful. And to wrap it up, I want to ask you
Yeah.
if there is anything that you'd like dancers that listen to this to know, to have in mind. Freelance dancers, company dancers, dancers who dream of creating their own choreography, anything.
So let's say for the dancers, it's okay that things are not going your way. It's hard. It's okay that it's hard, and it's okay to feel upset about it. And it's really important to take this pain, not dismiss it, but make it an engine inside of you, a drive, to make it into a drive, or to just look at it, really look at your pain, your fears, and see if they serve you or not. Because it can serve you also. It can serve you, it can make you powerful. And also it cannot serve you. Then you need to let it go and do something else. And it's fine and it's amazing even. It's not giving up. It's actually taking the power into your hands and taking control and living your life, actively living your life. That's first thing. And about creation, I feel like I understood that as a creator, you really want to have all the time to be innovated, to bring a new voice into the world. No matter the voice, but it does matter. Because if this voice is innovating something, but it's not your voice, then you will not feel fulfilled, even though you're bringing something out. It's really, I think, important. And as a watcher, I can also see it as when I see something that is real, that is sincere of the choreographer. When I see someone who is putting himself, it moves me every time. And I see the generosity and I always connect to it. I can cry, or from watching someone I can really cry. I can, not because of the innovation of it, just because I see something real, and it's so rare and so precious. And whoever has the courage to put something real, it has a place.
Wow. I also want to add to this that when you dare to put your voice out there, to put your what is inside of you, it's already innovation
Yeah.
because your voice hasn't been heard yet. So be brave, guys. Try things. And if, with that being said, if this conversation made you feel a little less alone, I'd love that you will subscribe to this podcast and be part of our growing community because this
Yeah.
is a place where you belong as you are. You don't need to be a certain way. We are here for you as always. You can text me, reach out, ask questions. And if you know anyone that is navigating a similar journey at the moment, send them this episode. And yeah, you just never know what kind of conversation someone needs to hear today. So thank you very much for being here with us. Thank you, Avigail. It was amazing. And I think this conversation touched so many people. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye,
Thank you
guys.
for inviting me. Thank you.